drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
I never did get a chance to complete my miter saw station, and well, it's been quite a while since I built this, a couple of years maybe. If you look down in my selection of playlist, you'll find a playlist just for my miter saw station, and they're broken down into individual videos for the different cabinets and so forth. And I also provided free drawings or free plans for all the various segments of this miter saw station. So if you look at the playlist, you can see the whole series, you can see every segment, how it goes together, and there's information in the video description below each video where you can download in PDF form free plans. So on the other end, a couple of weeks back, I posted a video, maybe more than 2 weeks ago. I posted a video on where I recycled a piece of furniture. It was originally a headboard, then it became storage in my office / art studio. It was no longer needed. I mounted it on top of the cabinets like you see here, just on the other side of the miter saw. And that's working out really well. I still have this blank space though, and without anything on it, it just becomes a catch-all. Things just get piled up on it. But I need more efficient and effective storage. Now, my miter saw, when it swings back and forth when you're doing angle cuts, the maximum, when I bring it over, I need clearance about here, 7 inches. And I can build anything from 7 inches out from the edge across. That leaves me with about 29 inches. To this point right here, 29 inches, I can build something coming up, set of shelves. Then I'll have more storage space where I can easily grab things, and that's a big problem with me, storage space. So this is what I'm going to do. So now it's just a matter of finding materials, cutting them, and figuring out what I'm going to do to make some shelves. Get on with the project. I took apart an old table that was being thrown out, and it's a hardwood top. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is. This was made in China, so I don't know what they used. And I'm thinking about using that as a base for this, the base for my cabinet that goes on the miter saw station. And this is about 31 inches long, so I have my 29 inches in length if I want the use this for a base. And I need 14 inches deep, and I have about 16 there, so I can just trim this down and I have a base. Now I have to find what I'm going to use for material for the rest of the cabinet. I'm all out of plywood scraps. I've been using them up in all my different projects, and I haven't found any other plywood anyone's throwing out or getting rid of. So I did score this OSB. And given today's prices with the COVID-19 thing, prices have skyrocketed. That's probably a few $100 worth of OSB, because now, depending on where you shop, it can be $35 to $55 a sheet. So I have this pile, and while I don't typically use OSB for making any type of furniture, given what I have, given the prices of materials, I think I'm just going to use this. So this is the base. of my shelving unit that's going to mount on my miter saw station. And this is just a look at the footprint. This is the real estate it's going to occupy. I'm using an old latex paint that I had kicking around as a primer. And the whole idea is I want to seal the OSB. If I seal it, it makes it easier to clean up dust, brush it off when dust gets on there. And also on the edges, it seals the edges so that they don't start coming apart on me. Because OSB is not normally used as a finished product for any type of furniture, or it's just used as a sheathing usually for homes or as an underlayment, floor underlayment. It's not something you typically see exposed. So I had this old paint kicking around, and I don't like to see things go to waste. It's not costing me any money to use it, and it does help to seal it. So as I mentioned, I'm using this as a primer, but I also have a little bit of paint left in a quart can that has a little color to it. So after this dries, I'll probably go over it with that just to give a little color to it. It's like a blue color, I think. I don't really care, it's just that I already have it. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go out and buy any paint. And if you have it and you don't want it to go to waste, this is a good use for it. This is the latest addition to my miter saw station. I needed more storage, and just leaving a blank table it compiles all kinds of stuff. It's a place to stack things. At least I have a more orderly place to stack things. I'm not going to put any drawers in here. I'm going to leave all these little cubbies open so I can slide things in. I can see what's in there, reach in and grab it. The bottom sections, it has a lip on it here because this is going to hold a lot of the bulk screws that I use most often. And this one here on the right will hold over 5,000 1¼ inch Craig pocket hole screws. And I have a big box of them. I buy it all in bulk. The next one, it'll hold a couple of thousand of the 1 inch Craig pocket hole screws. That's for when you're doing 1/2 inch material. The 1¼ is for doing 3/4 inch material. And then I have this one down here. I'll actually put containers in there because I'll have smaller quantities of the longer Craig screws for the using 2x4s, that kind of thing. And some of them are exterior, just a smaller number with a little different variety. I'll just stack the smaller boxes in there. And I'll try to figure out what else I'm going to put in there. That was this project, entirely from scrap, with the exception of the fasteners, which I already had anyway because I always keep an inventory of different types of fasteners. But OSB was given to me. It was scrap material left over from a construction job, and I was allowed to take it. All the other pieces, the backer plywood on the back there, that came from a piece of furniture I had disassembled that somebody threw out. The base board that's underneath here, that came from an old piece of furniture that somebody had discarded, and I reclaimed it. Everything here is just old leftovers or scraps, and it's just an example of what you can do if you want to make storage yourself in your shop. I didn't do any plans. This is unique to this particular miter saw station. It fits the real estate that I had available. This is left open because the miter saw, when it swings back and forth when you're doing 45-degree angles, I needed the clearance. But you can make something like this. You watch me build it, and it's so simple. Just use your own measurements to suit your own needs. Thanks for watching.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor?